Yo, yo. What's going on, everybody? It is Chris Classic, and I am joined by my daughter, Samaya. She does not want daddy to work alone, so I have a co-host. Thank you guys for the birthday wishes. Thank you guys for the she's a sick little baby too. Um thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you for the subscribers. I don't know if you guys are aware, but I did hit my goal of having 100 around my birthday. Shout out to you guys who been subscribed. Shout out to the people who have subscribed. Mama, stop. You're gonna have to stop, okay? Stop. Shout out to everybody that has subscribed and everything. As you can see, as I'm going to show real quick. God, be this baby. I'm going to send you upstairs, daddy duties. Stop. As you guys can see, I have the 100 subscribers as I am currently going live for the topic. I just want to say I'm truly grateful for everybody who has subscribed. Everybody who has subscribed and everybody who has been listening to the videos, who have been sharing them, who have been telling other people to comment on it. So I'm truly grateful for you guys. Thank you guys for doing that. I am so grateful that I have 100 subscribers. So thank you for that. Also, if you have not, make sure you check out the website, c3ultimatewrestling.com. I'll give you guys a preview basically what we do there with the website. I want to show you guys, if you guys haven't, you have the main site. This is our main site where you get details of the show, and you also get an idea of what we do, what we run, the events, the things that we are taking care of, the things that we are also a part of as well. As you can see, we also have things like the roster page. I have to update it, but this is majority of the roster. People come in, people come out. We all family here. You click it, you get bio on the wrestler. Like this is me. So when you click the wrestler, then you click it. It's at the bottom, sorry. So when you click it, when you get it, you see a bio at the bottom. So all of these are different. So if you want to learn more about the people who we book majority of the time, check out the website. We have our sponsorship packages. If you guys want to be interested in having a sponsorship, being part of the wrestling show via the you get featured on the wrestling apron here. You get to sell your merchandise, and then I also do a personal video for you guys. We currently have a silver package, which is $100, and you also have a gold package, which is $160. If you guys want to sponsor, hit me up and stuff like that. Fair prices. We have contact page. We have a lot of stuff here. So if you haven't, give a full preview, thorough look at the website. So also subscribe to the Taking Home podcast if you have not. Also to subscribe to the C3 Ultimate Wrestling channel as well. As my baby is still talking. Also, June 18th, we have our show, Kingdom Come. We are back in Hammond, Indiana. June 18th, we are back here. We are back. Also, we have our matches. We have a few of the matches. The main event. Then we also have for the Overculture Championship. Then we also have me and Cassidy Keith. And then we also have our host, Kevin Young Sr. He's on Facebook. and he's on Twitter and he's on Twitch. On YouTube, he's on Yellow Pill Coffee Company. We talk about a lot of things, talk about a lot of real things and everything like that. And if you're a smoker, that is a very great channel to kick back and listen. So bless you. Putting that out there. Let's go into the topic. I know this is very early. This is early than expected. Usually I do them at 5:30, but what I do is I try to go around my work schedule. So this will probably be the last one I do for a while in the morning. If I feel like there's a topic that needs to be discussed, I'll do it. But I'm going to my second shift at my job, so I'm going to do midnights. I think Thursday I'm going to do midnight. Saturday I'm going to do midnight, and we're going to try to have discussions there. I usually get a lot of traffic at midnight because a lot of people are off or working overnights or anything like that, or have something to listen to. So that's a good thing. Shout out to Taylor. Shout out to House. What's going on? All right, let's talk about the topic for today. And the topic is wrestling toxicity and why I don't obsess over it. Let's just give a backstory, right? When I was a young kid, the two things that we watched were WCW and WWF, now WWE, right? So we'd watch these on Monday and we channel surf between two channels to watch that, although we'd watch Thunder or we watch SmackDown or, the shows that represent the brands and everything like that. We'd go between these and then we'd go to school and then we'd talk to our classmates about who we liked, who was better. Was Stone Cold better than Goldberg? Was The Rock better than Sting? Things like that. We used to talk about these things. Hey, well, if you disagree, then whatever, we're still friends. And some people would actually fight. Some people would actually fight over who they thought was the better wrestler, Undertaker forever. So so these were the things that we used to debate about. And it wasn't nothing personal. It wasn't nothing personal at all. Just a lot of give me a second, guys. I'm going to take care of my daughter real quick. Yeah, sorry about that. My daughter, me and my daughter, she don't want me to be great today. Well, actually, she do want me to be great. She just like being around me because I'm an awesome person. So I'm just gonna do this without no more cuts. You know, I kept you guys for so long. I know guys are coming in and coming out on the chat. So we're gonna talk about wrestling toxicity and why I don't obsess over it. Okay, people are a fan of wrestling, and just because they are a fan of wrestling, it doesn't mean that there's certain things that they like and certain things that they don't like, certain things that they support and certain things that they don't support. You get what I'm saying? I think the issue is a lot of people, especially on this internet, is a lot of people believe that if they are right, no one else is right, and that's it. And that's a problem. I believe that nobody should try to disrespect disrespect someone about how they feel about something. Now, me as a wrestler and also as a promoter and a booker, I do see things and I do hear like fans and I do hear people that are like part of the culture, if you will. They say things that I don't agree with, or I'll be like, oh, okay, well, I see a difference in it. So like I may comment on what they are saying, and it may be they may disagree, but what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to go back and forth with somebody about it. You know, if they have an opinion about something, then that's on them, that's on me, whatever like that. I'm not going to let that ruin my day. I'm not tweeting about it. I'm not doing anything. So lately, there have been a lot of things where a lot of people are putting their opinions out and then they are getting upset when people don't agree, or they're just saying some rude stuff, whatever like that, right? And it's like, I don't have to, no one has to obsess with that. Like me as a grown man, I'm not going to tell you as a grown person what to do and how to handle the situation. But you have to understand that people are going to have an opinion. Some of it's going to be wrong, some of it's going to be right. It's going to be an opinion at the end of the day. Some people get under your skin, and that's just what it is. Now, with wrestling and in anything in life, there's going to always be somebody that talks negative or says something or being very toxic because they get views and they get paid for it, and people talk to them and stuff like that. So always think about that. Going into the topic, as my daughter's coming back. Wrestling toxicity is something that has always been around. And actually, it was maintained when wrestlers in the back, they weren't exposing and telling everybody, and Vince wasn't telling everybody what wrestling is and what we do and stuff like that. So what happens is it breaks down, and then now everyone has an opinion on what wrestlers should do and what wrestlers shouldn't do. Now, if you are a fan of the product, then cool. That's dope. People have fantasy bookings. People say if I ran a company, I would do something like this. Like people do this kind of stuff all the time. So you get what I'm saying? So that's fine or whatever like that. I think the issue is when people try to get upset when somebody don't agree with you. Now, I am friends and have a lot of brethren and sisters, I made that up, that do wrestle. And sometimes they agree with what I say and sometimes they don't. That's it. That's not toxicity. We can agree to disagree. We're not really harming anybody. We're not really disrespecting anybody. That's it. But sometimes when someone has an opinion, people just blow up. And that's not cool. You don't have to, but like I said, you do what you want to do. I'm going to say his name wrong, but I believe his name is just Alex, right? Shout out to him. Rich, shout out to Rich. He tagged me in one of his videos and he was talking about toxic fans and what they want and stuff like that. So I looked at it and I looked at that part specifically. And for the most part, I agreed with some of the stuff he said, but I also disagreed. I disagreed on some other stuff that he also said. I'm sorry, y'all. For example, he was saying that just, when you're toxic, it's not going to get you paid. It's not going to feed you. It's not going to do that. Just watch wrestling. And this is the thing. I got what he said, but I disagree with him on that part because a lot of these people who have YouTubes, who have streaming services, who have podcasts, and who have Patreons and stuff like that, some of these guys, this is their bread and butter. regardless if they're right or wrong on whatever topic. If they're toxic, they're probably going to get more views than somebody that's wholesome, and that's true. If you are a messy channel in that talks about wrestling, that hates everything WWE does or hate everything AEW does or whatever like that, then you're probably going to have a lot of subscribers because people are going to look at you berate or disrespect or anything like that. And then when I say disrespect, I use that lightly because you don't have to agree with everything. And just because you don't agree with an aspect, that doesn't mean that you're being toxic. You get what I'm saying? So like I used to watch, this is why I don't subscribe to a lot of channels that cover wrestling. Shout out to Heels for Life. They're pretty good though. But I don't subscribe to a lot of channels or whatever like that, especially if they don't wrestle or if they're not much of a part. And then I've stopped listening to stop, baby. Stop. And then I don't listen to a lot of channels because sometimes they're so biased, then it's just like it's not genuine. And what I try to do here is I try to be genuine with what I do. You know, like I said, sometimes I'm still learning in the business and everything after 10 years, but I don't try to listen to biasness and stuff like that. I've seen people review a WWE show and give it low stars, and then I've seen them give an AEW show that basically had the same match and give them 5 stars, and it's like it's nothing different or whatever like that. I'm not compromised. And when I say that, I mean I say that because I'm not trying to work for these other companies. Like nobody's paying me to do this. I'm trying to do my own thing at the end of the day. You know, I'm not just trying to do this. I'm not trying to be best friends with some of these guys. You know, these guys we don't even know personally. We just know their wrestling character. We are friends or you like their character or whatever like that. So that's why I try to go off of how I feel and in my opinion. This is how I think. If you don't watch WWE, okay. If you don't watch WWE and watch AEW, okay. If you don't watch AEW but watch WWE, okay. If you watch both, which majority people do, which is the funny thing. This is why I don't subscribe to that. Oh, it's a big war. It's an AEW versus WWE war because majority of wrestling fans watch both. But going back to just Alex's comments, he also said something about toxic fans bringing in ratings, and he was saying like nobody has been bringing in ratings, talking about ratings like that until now. And it's like I respectfully disagree because when WWE was the only one doing something and Impact was like thriving and stuff like that, people were bringing in that Raw had its lowest ratings and SmackDown had its lowest ratings, and they were hoping that a company come in and make WWE change or buy Vince out or Vince quit. You know, y'all was saying some horrible things. So this isn't new. Like ratings, like that system thing, that isn't new. Now, what is ridiculous is when people try to do the demo and stuff like that. And I'm hearing that stuff's very important and all of that stuff. Now that's when it's a stretch. You know, it's okay. If you like this company because A, B, C, D, that's fine. So that's why I don't subscribe to, I have a Twitter, but I'm rarely on Twitter. As you see, I don't even have it as one of my links to click on my screen banner. But it's not worth it when you think about it. It's not worth it when you think about it because some guys just want to get under your skin with certain situations and certain topics, right? So let's talk about, for example, I think a lot of people has been talking about the Forbidden Door, right? Yeah. Some people are excited and some people aren't excited about it. But let's talk about like what's the difference between toxic and not toxic when you're talking about the situation. For example, if you say you're not interested in looking at it, that's fine. That's not toxic. You have a preference. You're preferring to not watch it. Now, if you're saying it's going to be trash and whoever watches it's trash, you're mindless zombies or whatever like that, that's toxic. If AEW is not your taste, then that's not toxic. Now, if you're saying it's not your taste and you shouldn't watch it or whatever like that, that's when it goes to toxic. Everyone has their own opinions on wrestling companies or whatever like that. You guys know I observe both of those and I observe a lot of stuff. Now, when the issue is when the ironic thing about the Hidden Door was that the fans oh God was that the fans. Give me a second. You good? You good? Wanna watch your Gabba Gabba? Go sis, watch your Gabba Gabba. This is where I'm going tonight. You gonna be good? Okay. Anyway, the thing about the Forbidden Door was the ones who were making the comments about them not growing the audience were fans of AEW and New Japan. Like, it wasn't even a lot. Now, I know that there were some people who were upset, who are always going to be upset with what AEW do, but a lot of people were a lot of fans were saying it. I've seen videos where people were like, hey, you know, I'm loving this. It's not going to grow the audience, but I'm going to love this. Now, I'm going to speak on that, because if you are a fan of the company and you feel like they're not going to grow, actually, I wish they do grow or whatever like that. I hope they do something. Now, my take on New Japan and everything like that, I know they've been trying to have a big U.S. market. The issue is a lot of people on AEW do wrestle like these guys, strong style, let's chop our chest, fighting spirit stuff, like a lot of people do. And I do feel like it would have been better if only a few wrestlers did it. But when 70% of your roster do it, it's a problem. For example, if you have just the Blackpool Combat Club doing that kind of stuff and nobody else is really having that kind of style, I think that a lot of people will probably look it up if they haven't looked it up and try to see it or something like that. Or if you have people of that ethnicity who do train, who do wrestle like that, and you book them consistently, then it works. But when you have a lot of people that wrestle like that and the independent circuit also wrestles like that, then that does, I see why people say it may not increase the audience. But at the same time, you know, if that's what you want to listen to, then that's fine. If that's what you want to look at, that's cool. The issue is looking at it as a wrestler. Okay, cool. Dream matchups. A lot of people been talking about dream matches and stuff like that. And I can look at that. I can click into that. Then also, as a businessman, if this is the motive to just keep one audience, you're going to wind up losing money because you're not growing your audience. And most of these shows that have TV deals and stuff like that, they want you to try to continue to grow and have a certain number, a certain quota that you have to reach. Now, if you just cater to a certain audience and no money's coming into it, they're going to switch something off and give something else. Now, with AEW, I know there's a lot of talks about execs switching for the channel and stuff like that. And we'll see where it goes. Being negative would be like, oh, well, they're not going to do anything. I'd be like, wait and see. I've always been on that. Let's just wait and see with things. You know, if one person, here's another thing for toxicity, right? If I say I don't like one company because they do this, and then your rebuttal or your response is, oh, well, the other company does that. I didn't talk about the other company. I didn't say I even watched the other company. See, this is the thing. Assumptions, going under people's skin and being petty is like a main thing in toxicity, right? You have so many people that try to turn around and they try to tell you what you should like and what you shouldn't like. I made a video a year ago and I talked about one thing that I despise. I hate it when people said that AW is for real wrestling fans. And the video was, what's a real wrestling fan? Like, what is a real wrestling fan? Like break that down. Like, what is the difference between you? Let's say I'm 33 now. Happy birthday. Woo woo. You're 33 and you watch a wrestling show and you're more of a wrestling fan than a 5-year-old kid who watches wrestling all the time. Like, what? Like, for example, it's more on the AEW spectrum. It really is. When AEW does something, people are like, oh, well, AEW is for the wrestling fans and stuff like that. And I'm just like, in WWE is not. I mean, let's be honest. WWE has been diluted. We all know about it and stuff like that. But they're still number one at the end of the day. But what makes you more of a wrestling fan than a WWE fan? Now, you can be an AEW fan and you can be a WWE fan. But just because you watch one company, it doesn't really technically make you just a fan of the company. Maybe that's just what your interest is. You get what I'm saying? You're not going to find every answer to that. So when you say that, it's just like, oh, okay, it's just more of a debate. Oh, AEW has more wrestling fans. I get what you're saying. What you're trying to say is you have a certain age demographic that clings more to AEW than WWE. But then again, I also flip that around again and being like, most of these people who do watch the companies, they watch both of them. Some don't. Some don't. Some are avid fans of either one, and some like what they do and stuff like that. But just because you like a company or whatever like that, and you feel like they are the true epitome of wrestling, that doesn't mean that you are a bigger fan. You get what I'm saying? Just because you buy the merch and you go to the shows and you go for pictures and stuff like that, or you make sure they make it home at night, like Mr. Myron here. Just because you make sure they make it home safe or whatever like that, that doesn't make you an avid fan. It makes you a stalker. I'm not. And these are jokes, by the way. I hope you guys aren't doing any of this stuff like that. But just because you do certain things, it doesn't make you more of a devoted fan than somebody who doesn't get on the internet. And that's always a debate with me. That's always a discussion that needs to be talked about, is when people try to turn around and say, oh, the internet. And yes, the internet does have a big presence in the wrestling world, but a lot of people don't tune into it because it is toxic, like just Alex said. And other people, it is very toxic. Or some people don't care to put their opinion on the internet. They'll look at it, oh, that sucks, cut it off, or this is good, let's watch it. Simple as that. I just think that a lot of people think that just because you're on the internet and you're friends with some of these wrestlers, or you have a lot of subscribers, or you have a lot of videos and stuff like that, they think that they could just say anything and it works. Just because you have a podcast like I do or anything like that, that doesn't mean that you're a better fan than somebody who doesn't get on the internet. We don't know what they do. We don't know what they buy. We don't know what's going on with their life. So it kills me when a lot of people who do get on the internet, they try to say, oh, okay, well, they act like, they don't say, but they act like, stop. They act like they're the end all be all of wrestling. And a lot of us is just opinionated. It's just opinions. And like I said, unless it's a fact, I feel like sometimes people just say stuff to say it. You know, I'm not here to make you watch either one of them. I just talk about both of them. This is what I'm trying to push. I'm trying to push my own thing. You get what I'm saying? This is what I'm trying to push here. You get what I'm saying? I'd rather put more energy in what I'm working on as a wrestler. If you have a podcast, if you have a YouTube channel or anything like that, I understand. Most people, they're trying to get money. They're trying to get their bread and butter. They're trying to get paid. They're trying to do all of this stuff. I understand. But try to push your product. Try to push merch. Try to push your website. Try to push things so people can come to you. Push outlets, other forms of social media and stuff like that. You know, you don't have to spread toxicity. That's up to you, though. At the end of the day, that's up to you. I don't obsess with it. As a wrestling fan, as a wrestler, as a booker, promoter, as a podcaster, I don't subscribe to it because it's no point. What's the point? Like, I rather get my subs the natural way. I rather talk to people. I rather kick it with people. I've had people who've commented under my lives and under my old videos on YouTube that said they disagree with this or they disagree with that, and that's okay. You know, we ain't God, so it's like we ain't wrestling guys. We ain't JBL, so it's okay. Like, people it just kills me because a lot of people say they hate wrestling toxicity, but then are a part of it and swimming in it, and then they're toxic and they don't even know that they're toxic and stuff like that. If you want to have a show, a YouTube channel that just bashes a company, okay, more power to you, but you're toxic. You get what I'm saying? You know, you'd be lying. To my opinion, you'd be lying if you say that both companies are perfect and they do everything right. Both of the big two, exactly. You know, you got some who don't even watch neither one of them. They look at WWE, they get sick to their stomach and turn that off. They look at AEW, get sick to their stomach and cut that off. You got people that just watch the independents. You know, and I understand that, like, that'll probably draw a little more older people to AEW, whatever like that. But you have people who are fans of all ages, shapes, sizes, orientations, religions, and stuff like that. So just because you're on the internet, and usually this is where the wrestling toxicity is. Most of the time, like, you're going to have toxic people who are toxic, but most of the time it is actually on the internet. Shout out Arshawn, Rushawn. I'm going to say that every time. Salute, Rushawn, Arshawn. What's up, brother? So going back to what I was saying is, the internet is something that can really mess you up in real life. And with these opinions, because you're friends with these people, or you tag wrestlers, or you tag anybody, celebrities and stuff like that. That don't mean that you could just be an a-hole and be a difficult person. It's no point to that. You might have to see that person one day or whatever like that. And with wrestling, sometimes people don't know what they actually want. They just type because they want a response, if you get what I'm saying. They just want to say something just to say something. And you don't need to do that. We look at wrestlers get released or they leave a company, and then all of a sudden people come out of nowhere and say they should do this and they should do that. That's toxic. Why not just support them? Hey, if they need to take a break, take a break. Hopefully we'll see them again or whatever like that. We automatically just, they lost their job, and we automatically just say, hey, they should go work here or they should go work there. Give them time. Look at Bray Wyatt, right? So now a lot of people are anticipating Bray Wyatt to come to AEW. Now there are rumors of him asking for more money, or asking for a lot of money, and that's why he isn't on there. And a lot of people are commenting on that. Why not? Maybe he knows what he has. Maybe he knows the potential he has as a wrestler or whatever like that. Why in our toxic mind, we feel like he's probably worth a certain amount of money? This is the thing. A lot of people were very big fans of Bray Wyatt as the Fiend and everything like that. A lot of people were fans of that. And they said that was the most interesting thing on TV. So now he gets released from WWE, and, you want him to go to AEW, but the money isn't right for him. Some of these guys be wanting to retire after being let go of a big company like that. These are the things. Like, it's cool to have an opinion. It's good. Oh, I hope I see this person. I hope I see them there. But at the same time, let's support these wrestlers. If you want to support, just support. Give these people time. Give these people space. A lot of people were upset with some guys or gals that did go to AEW and they weren't pushed right, which means, when I use that means because they weren't pushed like they wanted to be pushed. With Ruby Soho, right? A lot of people were upset Jade won. They wanted her to win the TBS title and stuff like that. But then she is having fun. She is definitely having fun. You can tell she's having fun and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that anybody that wrestles and the other companies aren't having fun, but it seems like some of these people are probably getting paid more. They probably have more freedom. They can do independence and stuff like that. This is what they want to do. Now, and I've always said I hate when WWE do these big releases, because we know that it's coming real soon. You get what I'm saying? But at the same time, let these people just live. At the end of the day, you want the best for them. Maybe they know what's best for them more than what we know. And just because they aren't on for a title that we want them to go for, that doesn't mean that they aren't doing what's best for them. I dang near hate it. I hate saying hate, but it's the truth. Everybody isn't right all the time. And just because you're on the internet and somebody doesn't say you're wrong or anything like that, it doesn't make you right. Just because you have 1 million subscribers, it don't make you right. Just because you have a camera, it just doesn't make you right. Like I said, I just can't watch a lot of people, not want to say podcast channels, because it's just straight toxic. It's like, when you gotta find something wrong with something with wrestling, that's always a problem. Like, you really gotta find like this and that, because if you get 1 million views off of why I hate this company, and then you only get 1,000 for why I love, you're probably going to go for why I hate this company, and to the point to where you're going to drive yourself mad trying to find everything you don't like. And that's the thing. One of the reasons why Cornette channel still continues to grow is because they do like what he say. And to be honest, some of the stuff he does say is right, but some of them actually listen to that toxic stuff that he says and how he says things and stuff like that. Like, you could just tell him, you could just peep that. That's what works for him. And a lot of people try to go off of that same mode. People come in, they talk about people, they disrespect who they are, what they represent and stuff like that. It happens. And it doesn't make any sense to me, but people subscribe to it. That's why it's not going away. That's why I'm obsessed with it. It's not going away. It's going to stay. Negativity until the good Lord come back. It's going to stay. So with wrestling, it's no different. It's no different. I can't sit here and talk all day on this topic. This will probably be the last one, hopefully. Unless, I don't obsess over it. This will be the last one about toxicity. Now, my opinions you may not agree with or whatever like that, and we can talk about that, and that's it. But at the end of the day, people are going to still say something. If a wrestler gives somebody an opinion on something and you don't like it, and then you start talking about this wrestler instead of the statement, that's a form of toxicity. It can be. It can be a form if you're talking about this person's personal life and stuff like that. Let's keep it professional. Why are you talking about the personal life? That's toxicity. A lot of people were upset with Booker T, right? They were upset with what he said, saying that AEW Dark was a demotion. Now, as a person who is a fan of Booker T, I listen to him, but I don't follow him, if that makes sense. Like, some of the things that he do say is crazy, and I disagree with. And it's like, okay, well, you're loyal to your company, and that's cool. So why is it a problem when he does it and other people do it? Other people are loyal to their company. That's okay. That's fine. And I'm not saying it's just his company, but maybe he feels like it's a demotion. And a lot of people who did comment about Dark, when he said that, they don't even watch Dark. So it's like, are you really proving what he said? Now, as a person who does watch Dark every week in Dark Elevation, you look at the matches, and I'm not crapping on nobody. There are some matches, there's a lot of short matches on it, you know, dark matches, if you know what that is. But that's it. You know, a lot of people, oh, well, Cole, a lot of these guys wrestled on there. Okay, cool, but they're not on there every week. If you watch that, you see that they're not on it every week. And I don't want to say it's not really a demotion, but you do know, and most of us know because of how toxicity works, is that if CM Punk wasn't on Rampage or Dynamite and he wrestled for Dark for the rest of his career, y'all say that's a demotion. Y'all say it was. You know, you just can't be up in arms about everything, especially if you don't know anything about it. And like I said, I think I've watched every Dark episode because I'm like, well, maybe something will change. Maybe something to be good. These matches are very predictable. So not a lot going on here. And it's no shade. I mean, it's good. You show it's a YouTube show. But then we also got to think about, if we're going to sit here and say how Booker T called it a demotion and was upset, think about all the AEW wrestlers who do that. Do y'all remember when Eddie Kingston and CM Punk was feuding? CM Punk brought up that Eddie Kingston got a lot of his wins on Dark. Nobody said nothing. When Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa was feuding for the women's title, Britt Baker said the same thing. See, people turn on and off their toxicity switch when they want to. You know what that's called? A hypocrite. Hypocrite. It's a hypocrite for no reason. If you feel that way, my thing is this. I've always felt sometimes things have limits, and sometimes it is. If you're going to feel this way, feel that way 100%. You know, don't hide how you feel or whatever like that. But even when the company, it's on AEW Dark Elevation, when the wrestlers there are saying that basically it's the demotion, where was this at? Like, sometimes people wait. Stop, baby. Stop. Sometimes people wait for some of these wrestlers to say something. You know, AEW isn't shy to talk bad about some of the things and the practices that WWE went through because they went through it, or they're just protecting their company. And that's cool. But it's like, you cannot get upset when somebody wrestles for another company and they say something small. I remember when Triple H said to Billy Gunn that he was wrestling for a pissant company. People still talk about that. They talk about that more than AEW, more than when AEW sends shots. You got to think about that, man. People pick and choose what they want to be mad and what they want to be upset with. And that's toxicity. Because now you have a story. You have a narrative. And that's what a lot of people like to do. A lot of people like to spit narrative. Stop, baby. That's my last time. Stop. No. That's a narrative. You get what I'm saying? I don't have time for that. I'll tell you how I feel. If people comment, we talk about it. I disagree, whatever. We that's just what we do. And I feel that a lot of people just get upset with that kind of issue to where you should be mad because of this and that. They're just like, you know, I'm a follower of Christ, right? So when people have podcasts or people crack jokes about what I follow and everything like that, and they crack jokes. So then when you turn around and crack a joke to them, now they're like, no, you're not supposed to do that. Oh, you're supposed to be this. So it's like, wait, you're going to tell me I should act a certain way, but you're upset when I tell you that, or if somebody else. Not saying I'm telling anybody, but that's just what it is. Expect a reaction to your actions that you do. But this is exactly why I do not look at a lot of people's stuff with wrestling. Anti-AEW, anti-WWE. I'll sit here and say, listen, and why you don't like it. And if I feel like it's honest, then that's cool. But if you're just going to sit there and be like, oh, well, I just didn't like this because of ABCD. Because to be honest, some of the matches on both main two companies, it's the same thing. It's the same storylines involving the same superstars. It's the same thing. I don't subscribe to that. I just don't. I just don't. I don't see why. Like, it's already bad enough that there's a lot of negativity in wrestling and people try to go viral off of it. You get what I'm saying? And exposing the business and getting booked by doing stupid stuff at Walmart or jumping on stupid stuff, like, and hurting yourself. Like, it's bad enough we got to deal with that kind of stuff because that's toxic as well. It's bad enough that we got to deal with that. And then now to say, oh, well, I got to sit here and blog and disrespect somebody because they said something about my favorite company. The same company that probably don't know you exist, that just take your money, anything like that, that's not going to try to come and get you or anything like that. That same company. And as I'm joking about Myron on Players Club and everything like that, I'm going to say this. If you do buy merch, if you pay to be these people friends, if you take pictures, that's cool. That's fine. If you see me take a picture or whatever like that, you know, I feel like I am a genuine person. You know, if you reach out to me, I'm going to try to talk to you the best way I can. You get what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, just because you do this or you do certain things, that doesn't make you more of a fan than somebody else. That's all I'm saying. That's it. That's it. That's it. I'm not. If you wanna buy whatever you wanna buy they smelly socks, smelly shoes, and stuff like that, that's on you or whatever like that. But just to think that your opinion matters more than somebody's who didn't buy anything or who don't go on the internet, who just go to shows or who just watch TV. Hold on, my baby on my Atari. Get off that box. Get off that box. That's my Atari 7800. What y'all know about that? But that's it. I'm getting out of here. Like I said, to the people who are listening, make sure Thursday and Saturday I'm going to go live on midnight because of my work schedule. Once again, thank you guys for subscribing to the channel, to the Take It Home podcast. We finally hit 100. I thank God for you guys. We finally hit 100. If you have not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe now. I'm going to try to find more of a deeper topic. Now, I want to find more of a deeper topic because, like I said, I don't obsess on it. So I'm not sitting here picking up articles and stuff like that. I just wanted to pick apart a few things and kind of introduce on what toxicity is, and knowing that it's not going to go away. That doesn't mean that you have to obsess over it. It doesn't mean that you have to blog over it. It doesn't mean that you have to be a part of it. You know, if you have an opinion, that's cool. You know, just don't get mad when other people have opinions as well. She's gonna get knocked out. But that's it. If you haven't, like I said, subscribe to the Take It Home podcast. Also, you see Podbean. That's where the audio is. And also see the websites. C3 Ultimate Wrestling. Follow my Facebook and my Twitch. Once again, thanks again, guys. This is Chris Classic. Let's hold on. Comment. This is Chris Classic. Let's take it home.